144. Welcome to Leader Lifestyle Hub. As we have set the target of completing 200 book summaries in the entire year, here comes the book number 144. And the name of the book that we have today is Resisting Happiness, written by Matthew Kelly. Without any delay, let us see who is this Matthew Kelly is all about. He's an Australian motivational speaker and business consultant. He's a founding partner at Floyd Consulting, a management consulting firm. He born in 1973, and his other books are also listed here. Holy Moments, Life is Messy, Resisting Happiness, The Rhythm of Life. The current book is written in 2016 that we are going to read the top 3 lessons of the same author, Matthew Kelly's Resisting Happiness. So the target audience of this book is the 27-year-old mom, means the 27-year mom who can't handle being alone. Like moms are usually staying in home all the time, and they usually be alone with themselves while cooking, while preparing them, their kids, preparing the food. All at the time they will be being alone. So for that, people who want to handle that type of situation, this book will be a helpful guide. And the second one is the 59-year-old spiritual person who wants to discover even more meaning in life. Those who are in the spiritual side and who want to discover more meaning in their life. And anyone who wants to improve their happiness but does not realize what is holding them back from doing so. So who are seeking clarity, for them also this book will give them powerful tips. Let us see the small synopsis. Resisting Happiness shows you how to get more joy in your life by exploring the roadblocks you unknowingly put in the way of it, and explaining why it is a choice and giving specific tips to help you make the decision to be content. Let me repeat the statement. Resisting Happiness shows you how to get more joy in your life by exploring the roadblocks that you unknowingly put in the way of it, explaining why it is a choice, why we need to put the roadblocks, and giving specific tips to help you make the decision to be content. Let us hear from the author himself. Wherever you find excellence, you find continuous learning. They go hand in hand. Excellence and continuous learning goes side by side, and it should be in the balance. Where you find that continuous learning is missing, you find mediocrity. So if you don't want to stay in the mediocrity, and if you are chasing excellence, continuous learning is the key. You want to be happy, but every time you try to catch joy, it seems to slip through your fingers, replaced by worry and stress. Your joy is always occupied by the worry and stress. You can't put a price on fulfillment because it is so valuable, but it also comes at the cost of hard work. So fulfillment comes from the hard work and feeling joy towards it. But where should you start putting in effort? Ironically, you might want to identify what's making you sad. That's where Matthew Kelly's book, Resisting Happiness, begins. You will see what holds you back from true fulfillment. You will see what holding you back from true fulfillment and learn to eliminate that roadblock. The path to joy comes from the removing the roadblocks that we have put in our way. So let us try to remove the roadblock that we keep in our way. The tips in this book are already giving me a lot of great ideas about what makes my life more fulfilling and how to double down on these practices. Let us see the top 3 lessons. Three of the best principles I got from this book are: remember to read, remember to read, and that money is not everything if you want more meaning in life. Remember to read, and that money is not everything if you want more meaning in life. And the second important lesson from this book is learn the joy of being alone, which is nothing but solitude. And the third powerful practice that you can put into your daily life is practice delaying gratification and make sure you keep good friends close to you, reach your full potential. Let's get right into it and discover what Kelly has to teach us about resisting happiness. Let us see each and every lesson in detail. Let's get started. Lesson number 1. For a more meaningful life, remember to read, and that money is not everything. In the college days, reading was not at the top of my to-do list. It was difficult to manage a schedule full of classes and a social life and still find time to get into reading a good book. Even in the college days, we hate to read the college books itself. Why will we read self-help books at that time? But what I didn't realize that my lack of reading was one of the things holding me back from happiness. Today, I see that reading is an important window into the world around me. And as I pick the right authors, it's like having their guidance right next to me when I am trying to figure something out important. So if now the reading habit was like cultivated in the earlier days, you will have a habit of choosing the right authors and getting the good guidance from the experts and the masters in that particular field. Think of books like your friends that you can turn to for an escape when life gets difficult. This is a powerful statement. Think of book like your friend you can turn to for an escape when life gets difficult. Means that challenging time or in the crisis time, that friend will help you to come out of that challenge. That's how the book will help. They have the power to change your perspective and improve your attitude. Another important factor that could be holding you back from joy is placing too much emphasis on money. You do need money, but looking for opportunities to help others without the expectation of a reward is a sure path of fulfillment. Remember that we do need money. Money is definitely needed, but looking for opportunities to help others without the expectation of a reward is a sure path of fulfillment. Visualize this, picture this. The author goes to his neighbor Joe and offers to pay him $1,000 an hour to plant trees at the elementary school down the street. Joe puts in a couple of hours of half-hearted work and leaves richer by feeling empty. Let us see the example again. The author goes to his neighbor Joe and offer him that he will pay $1,000 an hour to plant trees at the elementary school down the street. Joe puts in a couple of hours, means within 2 hours he'll put all the trees in the elementary school. Of half-hearted work, means he is not fully working on that, and leaves richer because he got $1,000 within 1 or 2 hours, but feeling empty. Contrast this with the feeling Joe would have if the author asked him to volunteer his time. Means if he volunteered his time for just planting the trees, he would have more fulfillment than getting the money. He might work hard all day to do what the school needs rather than just get paid and ends up happier and more fulfilled as a result. So let me repeat the powerful lesson. For a meaningful life, if you want to looking for meaningful life, remember to read the books, and that money is not everything. Money is needed, but fulfillment is the more needy requirement for a human being. Let us see the lesson number 2. Nurture the relationship you have with yourself through solitude. Solitude is one of the principles that we have discussed when we were reading the book of Robin Sharma, the 10 rituals of the monk who sold his Ferrari, right? So let us see how this author is giving the principles on solitude. One time in college, the author was having difficulties with relationships and tried what he thought was a strange idea at that time. He took a day off work, means he take leave from the work and made a plan to hang out with himself for the entire day, like I have done for the last 3 to 4 days. So I had hang out with myself with the entire 3 4 days in the Vipassana. Even he left his phone at home. Even I left my phone in the ashram. So in the same situation, he was entirely hang out with himself. Means he went for the solitude. It turned out to be one of the most memorable and enjoyable days of his life. Even in my life also, it played a crucial role. I spent time eating food I love. He took a drive into the mountains for a picnic, and he watched one of his favorite movies. Apart from the watching movies, I have done both of them. I spent time eating the food I love, natural food and vegetarian and very pious food. And I took a drive into the mountains for a picnic, not a picnic, but I have spent the time with the nature. Watched the one of his favorite movies, that is not much more important. Unknowingly, he had unblocked one of the most common roadblocks in the way of happiness, which is nothing but discovering the joy of being by myself. So many people says that being alone is a very horrible situation, but you need to find the ways to identify the joy in any situation. Loneliness can be a scary prospect, especially if you have used to always being with other people. You might even go to great lengths, making stupid decisions and getting into bad relationships just to avoid it. But consider that by spending more time alone, you are nurturing a relationship with the one person you will never be without yourself. So the only one person that you have with you till your end of your death or end of your life is you. It might sound counterintuitive, but more time alone will help you beat loneliness. You also get a chance to dive into who you really are every time you plan to spend time by yourself. Means spend some time with yourself to identify who you really are. In fact, this is the only time you have to get to know your personality. So use it wisely and get plenty of it. So use your me time at least 5 to 10 minutes in a day to reflect you who you are really are. Let us see the lesson number 3. If you want to reach out your full potential, you need to have good friends and environment and to practice delay gratification. Being alone is important, but it's not everything. You have got to have friends, but the right kind of friends if you want to truly be happy. In the 10th class, the author was terrified of social situations. I wouldn't even ask a girl on a date. I was so scared. But at the beginning of the next year, I met a group of friends that improved all of that. I began spending a lot of time with one in particular who completely changed my life. The first weekend after we had met, he pushed me to ask a girl to the homecoming dance. I did not want to, but I knew that it was good for me, so I did it anyway. Not only did I have a great time, but I also got out of out of comfort zone and grew as a person. In the months afterward, I transformed from an awkward and shy kid to a far more confident young man. If it weren't for the help of friends that cared about my progress, I wouldn't be who I am today. So don't keep holding yourself back from reaching your full potential by hanging around with mediocre people. Find a new friends group and especially look for high quality people that you know you will push you to you be your best self. It will change your life, and in the process, you will find a lot more fulfillment along the way. So here comes the 3 lessons. Read the books every day, and it will help you, and books will become your friends. Remember, books are your friends. Sometimes your friends might be cunning, friends might be cheating. In the same way, if you choose the wrong books, you will also get cheated. I mean, not cheated, but you will also not get the good results in short time. So if you are looking for the short time quick results, select the wise books which is relevant to your topics and move further. Read every day. Remember that money is not everything. If you want more meaning in life, money is needy, not greedy. Let us see the lesson number 2 that you have seen. Learn the joy of being alone. So that being alone makes you identify who you are really are and send some positive vibes to yourself in the meantime, so that eating the food you love, spending time with your nature, and having your relaxing moments in meantime. And third important lesson that we have seen is practice delay gratification and make sure you keep friends to close with you and to reach your full potential. Thank you so much. This is all about resisting happiness. See you in another book summary tomorrow. Until then, stay connected, keep progressing. If you have any thoughts,